What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with another sports card video. Today, we're breaking down the best player from each team in 2021 Bowman Draft. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're going to try to go through this as fast as possible. I have 30 players to go through, and we're going to talk about the top player from each team. So, yes, some players will be left out. There are some sleepers in this product that are awesome. And when I open my box tomorrow on Friday, I'm leaning more on the jumbo now because apparently the super jumbo is delayed till Monday. I don't know if I can wait that long. So I probably be opening a jumbo tomorrow, and then I'll talk about some sleepers as I pull their cards. But today we're focusing on the top player from each team, and it's going to be good if you do breaks. You can know what players and teams to look for based off their prices. Some of these players you might find a little intriguing, and maybe the team's prices are a little cheaper than others. Others going to be expensive. Things like that. Whatever reason, when you're opening Bowman Draft this year, this video is going to be helpful because you're going to know the top player from each team, at least in my opinion. So let's do it. Before we jump into the video, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of 2021 Bowman Draft's checklist. I'll say it right now. I think it's pretty solid. You know, they did leave out some first rounders, but I think the top players in this product are still super strong, like extremely strong. Like legitimately some of the better high school prospects we've seen in a long time. So very excited. Let's do it. Starting off in alphabetical order, we're going with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's jump into it. All right. This might look a little scuffed. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't know what to do with my webcam, but we're putting it right here so we can be a little bit bigger on the screen because what really matters is going to be on the side. We're using MLB Pipeline. Just talk about some of these players. So Arizona Diamondbacks, number one player, arguably the number one player in this product, Jordan Lawler. He was the 6th overall draft pick to the Arizona Diamondbacks. A lot of people had him projected number one. Really good swing. He actually inside outs the ball a little bit like DJ LeMahieu, but has more power. They really like his power. 55 hit, 55 power, 60 run. Just like a 5-tool, awesome athlete. But he did injure his shoulder in his debut short season. For my sake, I hope the prices aren't as high. He did have labrum surgery, which is a tough surgery to come back from. Honestly, to be completely honest, that's a tough surgery to come back from. I'm hoping 2021, 2022 technology is good enough. So we'll see. But before that, extremely hype prospect that I'm excited about. Next up, Atlanta Braves, and in my opinion, Spencer Schwellenbach is going to be their top player. He's a right-handed pitcher that touches 99 miles an hour, and he plays shortstop. Last year at Nebraska, he won the John Olerud Award, which was the best two-way player in all of college. For the Baltimore Orioles, Colton Cowser, and honestly, this dude is actually insane. Definitely honest, I was surprised how high he got drafted. He got drafted 5th overall. He went to a smaller school. He went to Sam Houston State, so I was just very surprised. But the dude can hit. Look what he did in his debut. 490 on-base percentage in 32 games. Hit 375, 2 home runs. Granted, he was just playing rookie ball and mostly an A ball. So typically as a college player, you'd like to see him succeed there. But he did more than exceed. He dominated. For the Boston Red Sox, and what a lot of people are saying the player of the product is this year, Marcelo Meyer. I like Jordan Lawler better than him, and I might be a little biased because I'm a Diamondbacks fan, but I actually had Lawler ranked higher in the draft than Meyer, but these two are the top two. They're the top two high school players. You know, they have great frames. Marcelo Meyer, 6'3", 188. Just another fantastic athlete. Good lefty swing, and he did okay in his debut. 26 games, 377 on base percentage, 275 average. He did hit 3 home runs, so a lot of upside with Meyer. He's only 19 years old, so fresh out of high school. Love to see it. But a very strong prospect in Meyer, and a lot of people are chasing his stuff. Next up, Chicago White Sox, and this is Wes Kath. He was the 57th overall pick. The White Sox first-round pick of Colson Montgomery actually got left out of the product, which I was bummed about at first, but with as strong as, you know, Lawler and Meyer and a couple other players we're going to get to, I'm not as mad anymore because 2022 Bowman will be solid because of that. But Wes Kath, high schooler, third baseman, he's actually a solid little player here. He did a whatever debut, 28 games, 212 average. Nothing crazy, but I do think he has a good upside. And for a high school bat, 57th overall, probably going to demand a little bit of decent pricing. Next up, southpaw for the Chicago Cubs, Drew Gray. He was their 3rd round draft pick. So the Cubs, they don't really have a great set of players in the product this year. They left out some top guys for the Cubs. So this is their third rounder. He's a lefty. He's a high schooler, 6'3", 190. He's got good grades, to be honest, for a high schooler. You know, the sky's the limit when you're drafted as a lefty pitcher. Just got to see if they can pan out. Next up for the Cincinnati Reds, Jay Allen. Allen was the 30th overall pick this year, and, he's an athletic big kid, 6'3", 190 out of high school. Athletic as crap, they say, and just has a lot of room to put on muscle. He's a skinny little kid. Like, that's 190. Imagine if he puts on muscle. He's going to be about a solid 220, 230. Could be a big prospect coming out of this draft. 30th overall, obviously very highly scouted, so love it. Good player for the Reds. Next up, Gavin Williams for the Cleveland Guardians. So Gavin Williams out of Eastern Carolina. He throws 100 miles an hour. He was the 23rd overall pick, just a top college arm in this draft. Dude throws heat. Next up, Benny Montgomery for the Colorado Rockies. One of my favorite players in this draft, to be honest. Dude is very good. He's a super athlete. He's an outfield 6'4", 200, big frame. He's only 19 years old, and I believe he had a really good debut too. Yeah, 14 games, 404 on base percentage, 340 average. Didn't hit any home runs, but just a really good player, very promising prospect. I like Benny Montgomery a lot. For the Detroit Tigers, they had a pretty solid draft. Isaac Pacheco was their second rounder, and what will probably demand a higher price than Job, but I'm not really sure. Jackson Jobe, though, is insane. Jackson Jobe, in my opinion, is the number one player in this product for the Tigers. He arguably was the best pitcher in the whole draft, and that's because he's out of high school. Obviously, Jack Leiter was phenomenal. Love Jack Leiter. But Jackson Jobe, he might have better stuff than him. He topped out at 96 miles an hour in high school, 3,000 RPM on his slider, which is the highest in the entire draft. Like, literally would be a top-tier slider in the MLB. And look at his high school stats. I know it's high school, but 9-0 with a .13 ERA, with 122 strikeouts and 5 walks in 51 innings. Like, that's crazy. That's straight up unhittable at the high school level. And I know it's high school, but still, just crazy. That just proves that he's just better. Next up for the Astros, and I will say the Astros are the worst team to get if you're doing a random team break. They don't have any autographs. Their best player is this guy, Chase McDermott. I believe he's the only one with a Bowman Chrome first card, or if not, he's the highest rated, and he was the 127th prospect. He ended up going 132nd overall in the 4th round. He's got good grades. He's 23 years old. He's a college arm. Could be a very solid pitcher, but no autograph, and he's a pitcher. So don't get the Astros. If you can avoid them in a random, do it. Next up for the Kansas City Royals, Frank Mazzucato, and this is the guy that had multiple no-hitters in a row, if I remember right, in high school. Next up for the Kansas City Royals, Frank Mazzucato. This is the kid that threw, I believe, 2 no-hitters in a row this year that really put him on the draft boards. Like, this is where he was rated like 39th overall, and he threw 2 no-hitters, and he ended up going 7th overall. So definitely a very strong lefty arm in this draft. Who knows? Maybe he could be the best arm in this draft. Who knows? It's really undetermined. With pitchers, you just never know. But very strong lefty arm, only 18 years old, 6'3", 175, good frame, solid arm. I definitely think he's the strongest Royals prospect in this product. Next up for the Angels, Sam Bachman, and yes, he's another pitcher, but he's a very good pitcher. He went 9th overall, throws absolute heat. Dude had a whip of .77 this year in college and only allowed 4 hits a game. He actually debuted, and I think he did okay. 3.77 ERA, 1.19 whip, so a pretty low whip, but 15 Ks in 14 innings. It is what it is. It's nothing crazy, but Sam Bachman, obviously one of the top pitchers taken in the draft. I think he's the best Angels auto in this product. Maddox Bruns for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Another high school arm. High school lefty. Everyone loves the lefties. I'm sure the Dodgers will turn this into some crazy pitching prospect that's going to dominate the Diamondbacks for the next 15 years. So I'm sure he's going to be good to hold on to. But what I was saying, I know it's a pitcher-heavy product. I believe it's about 5% more pitchers than last year in the product. But that's because the draft was really pitcher-heavy. Like, the Angels literally drafted every single one of their draft picks was a pitcher. Next up for the Marlins, Joe Mack. This is one of my favorite players in this draft class. I think he has a lot of potential. Big kid, 6'1", 210, high schooler, catcher. just has a lot of good grades. Not super fast because he's so big, but has really good grades. 55 hit, 50 power, 60 arm, 50 overall. Solid grades for a high school player. A lot of people are very high on him, but I think he's a good one. Next up for the Brewers, and I don't know if I really have a favorite, but Sal Frelick, he is probably in my top 3. Sal Frelick this year, I honestly wasn't sure about him. Boston College isn't typically known for baseball, but Sam Frelick, he got drafted 15th overall for apparently really good reason. He's 21 years old, 5'9" only, so he's a little smaller, but he's an athlete. I saw a crazy web gem of him last year, but look what he did in his debut. 35 games, 414 on base percentage, 329 average, 2 home runs. Being 5'9" does scare me a little bit, so I probably won't go crazy on his products just because he's 5'9". I feel mean when I say that, but I do think he's a very good player, and I definitely was surprised on how well he did as a debut. Next up for the Minnesota Twins, Chase Petty, one of the harder throwers in this draft class. 6'1", 190, 18 years old, straight out of high school. Very excited for the Twins. I am a partial Twins fan. D-backs, Mariners, Twins are my 3 teams. D-backs being my diehard team. My parents are from Washington and Minnesota, but he's just a hard-throwing righty. He throws gas with his right hand. His changeup touches 90 miles an hour, and he has a good slider too. So very good grades. He has a 70 grade slider. That's hard to come by. And then a 55 slider is no joke either. So really enjoy that, and I really like his control at 50. I think Chase Petty could be a good one. Obviously, pitcher's not crazy value, but I think he's a good pitching prospect. Next up for the New York Yankees, Brandon Beck. He's the only player with a first for the Yankees. I was very shocked upon that. I was very shocked that he's the only Yankee auto in the product. I was shocked, to be honest. Usually they like giving at least one hitter for the Yankees because there's so many Yankees fans out there. But 23 years old, he's a college arm. He's a good pitcher. He's got a little bit of everything. But second rounder out of Stanford. Nothing crazy as far as value goes, so the Yankees probably more affordable. For the New York Mets, Calvin Ziegler, second rounder, high school arm, 6', 205. Dude sits 93 and can touch 97. Next up for the Oakland A's, Mason Miller, college arm. So Mason Miller is interesting. He already has his master's degree. Very impressive. Has his MBA already, and he's one of the hardest throwers in the draft. Sometimes brains and athleticism equals a very good athlete. So Mason Miller, he was the 97th overall draft pick. He went to Gardner-Webb. So, not a lot of eyes on that school. Tops out at 99 miles an hour, though. Throws hard. For the Philadelphia Phillies, and I know it's another pitcher. It's another pitcher, everyone. But I do think Andrew Painter might be the best pitching prospect in this draft. It goes Leiter, Job, and Painter. Those are my top 3 for as far as pitchers go, in my opinion. But Painter is a little bit different because he's 6'7" and he has really nice mechanics. Very good mechanics. Nothing goofy about his windup or stretch at all. Just really solid mechanics. Sits between 93 and 95. Touches 96. So I just like it a lot. 6'7", that downward angle. It's going to be Glasnow 2.0 with even better mechanics. Absolutely love it. Henry Davis for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the number 1 overall draft pick, and I think he deserved it. I think Henry Davis is a very good baseball player. Just all around excellent baseball player. Really, really good grades all around, and he has a cannon. No one's going to be running on this dude in the MLB. His defense is going to keep him in the pros for a long time, but he had a solid little short debut. He only played 8 games, but he hit 3 home runs in those 8 games. He hit 308 with a 387 on base percentage. K rate was a little high, and I think some people are worried about that, but a lot of people don't care about strikeouts anymore. But for 8 games, very small sample size, hitting 3 home runs in 8 games, that's impressive to me. And he hit 2 of them in high A. So they brought him straight up to high A after playing just 2 games in rookie ball. I thought it was an impressive debut, to be honest. For the San Diego Padres, this is another one that, might not demand too much value. But Max Ferguson is that guy for the Padres. He was their 5th round pick. Again, the Padres kind of didn't give us any great options. Max Ferguson, who knows? You never know. These 5th rounders can be surprising sometimes. He's got pretty solid grades, not a ton of power, but hey, really good defender. He's fast, pretty good hit tool. Who knows? 6'1", 180, good frame as well. Second baseman. Had an interesting debut. Didn't hit well at all. 212, but he stole 15 bags in 37 games. 382 on base percentage. 31 walks in 37 games. So it seems like he has good plate discipline. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Max Ferguson. All right, we got a couple more teams left here, but for the San Francisco Giants, Will Bednar. And Will Bednar's the guy who carried Mississippi State to the national championship. Will Bednar was dominant in the College World Series. He's 100% upped his draft stock during that run, but he was unhittable. He was unhittable in the College World Series, carried Mississippi State to the national title, and that's why he got drafted 14th overall. The dude's got good stuff. I mean, if he pitches like he did in the College World Series, the Giants got a good one. Next up for the Seattle Mariners, Harry Ford, and Harry Ford's interesting. A lot of people think he might be the best player in this draft. You know, he was drafted 12th overall, so he's very highly scouted as is, but a lot of people like Harry Ford. A lot of people like Harry Ford. I can't remember if he played at all. He did play. He played 19 games in rookie ball, 400 on base percentage, 291 average, hit 3 home runs, so a solid little debut there for a small sample size. But yeah, Harry Ford, he's gonna demand a good little price here in Bowman Draft. For the St. Louis Cardinals, Ryan Holgate, U of A boy. I'm an ASU fan, but you know I root for U of A too. I don't like him as much, not even close. But Ryan Holgate, 21 years old, 6'2", 193. He was very good at U of A. He hit 377 with a 459 on base percentage before U of A ended their season due to the pandemic. But you know, he's a good little prospect. He didn't do much in his debut, I'll say that. 30 games, he hit 193 with a 279 on base percentage, but based off his college numbers, the dude can hit. I'm interested to see what he does this year. Next up for the Tampa Bay Rays, Carson Williams, shortstop. He was the 28th overall pick. He was their first-round draft pick in Tampa Bay. Just a very solid shortstop prospect, does a little bit of everything. Solid grades, nothing crazy, but not a bad guy to get. All right, next up for the Texas Rangers, Aaron Zavala, and I know I've talked a lot about the Rangers farm system, and honestly, I never really looked into Aaron Zavala, and he adds to that disgustingly strong Rangers org. Like, this dude got drafted in the second round. He was the 38th overall pick, but that was only because he had like a medical emergency. He actually had like some type of growth in his neck, something crazy like that, to where they thought he would never be able to play baseball again, and then got cleared to play, and then actually did really well. And that was after his year at Oregon. At Oregon, he hit 392 with a 525 on base percentage. That's over a full season. That's crazy. And then look what he did in his debut. He had a really good debut too. So this was after the whole medical thing. They cleared him to play. Played 7 games at rookie ball, 15 games in low A. Combined for 419 on base percentage, hit 293 with a home run. Like, really solid debut. This is my sleeper of the whole product right here. I actually already bought one of his autographs because as someone who is a Pac-12 fan, those numbers are crazy. 392 with a 525 on base percentage. Absolutely love that. Good frame too. Athletic outfielder. He is my sleeper of the product. Saying it right now. Next up for the Toronto Blue Jays, right-handed pitcher Gunnar Hoagland, college arm, you know, solid pitcher, 19th overall draft pick, first rounder for the Blue Jays. Just good grades overall, but he's a pitcher, you know, not going to be crazy priced. And last but not least, and unfortunately he does not have an autograph in this product, but he does have a non-auto for the Washington Nationals, Brady House. This guy is arguably, after his debut, the most hyped player in this product. He was very good in his debut, and we'll get into that. But he's 18 years old, 6'4", 215, just a gigantic kid. I personally don't like his swing at all, and I think it's going to cause him problems in the future. But his debut was pretty crazy. Over 16 games, he had a 322 batting average. He hit 4 home runs, so a home run every 4 games, and a 394 on base percentage. Very solid, 576 slugging. Just did a lot of things really well in his debut. But he doesn't have an auto. It's going to be a non-auto. But if you hit a color of Brady House because there's no autographs, it's going to demand a very high price. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for my 2021 Bowman Draft preview. Top player from every single team. Give me your opinions in the comments below. Do you like this checklist? Is there too many pitchers, too many hitters, too many lower picks? They left out too many first rounders. Give me your honest opinion in the comments below. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope this helps if you're looking to get into breaks or just dissect the product just a little bit. I hope this puts some players on your radar. I know I didn't rank them. There's a lot of good players on that list I just gave you. A lot of players I really like, but just want to give you guys some information so that you can use that information to the best of your ability. I know I'm going to try to get in some breaks as well. I love breaking Bowman products, and doing this now, I feel confident when I look at prices of teams. So I hope it does the same for you. yeah, that's going to do it. If you guys like this video, please get a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments, again, what you think of this checklist. If you've ripped any of it, let me know. What is your honest opinion on the product? Let me hear it. Put it in the comments below. All right, thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day. See ya!